Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll look at all the functions. Okay, so whatever I gave as a homework, right? So we'll go through all the functions. Now we have given something called keys as a function. Okay, I have to connect. Which one did I connect? All right, so keys is one, right? So what does it do? Returns all the keys in the dictionary. Returns all the keys, right? From dictionary, from dictionary, right? So the data type would be dict keys underscore keys. That would be the data type. You can iterate over the dict keys data type. We can iterate over the keys to the dict keys, right? In the same way, values is a function, returns all the values of a dictionary. It's just a moment. All right. Right. Returns all the values of a dictionary, and the return type would be values. Okay, and we can iterate over the values type. Right, blindly you can treat it as a list, this dict values or dict keys, right? So you can basically treat it as a list. You can iterate over that. And if you're iterating over the dict keys, you will get one key at a time. And if you're iterating over the dict values, you'll be getting one value at a time. Okay. And items. Items. Okay, this function, right, returns all the key value pairs. Returns all the key value pairs, right? Key value pairs. The return type would be dict items. Return type would be dict items. So this you can treat it as a list of tuples, where the first index would be key, the second index would be value. So this is one key value pair. This is another key value pair. The first index would be key and second index would be value. So each one of it, items as in each the set, the key value pair is basically called as item. The key value pair is basically called as item. So the list of key value pairs, right, is what will be returned when we call items function. So and the data type of that would be dictionary. So again, we can iterate over it. We can iterate over the dict items. We can iterate over dict items, where in every iteration what you get is item. Every iteration what we get is item. What is item? It is a tuple with key as a first index 0 and value as the second index, which is 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Right. And the last function is basically update. So let us say I have two dictionaries. I'm going to call it as D1 and another as D2. This is my dictionary. Okay, this is my dictionary, two dictionaries, right? So this has three keys, A, B, C. This dictionary has D, A, E, right? Now here A has 10, here A has, sorry, A has 1 and here A has 10. Are we clear with this?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now
sir.
what I want to achieve or do is that I want to add all the key values from dictionary 2 into dictionary 1. I want to add all the key values from dictionary 3 to 2 to dictionary 1. Right? Then what I would say is d1.update d1.update d2, which means d1 already has this dictionary. It already has A, which is 1. It has B, which is 2. It has C, which is 3. Right? This it already has this. Now, when I say update to D2, it will add all the key values from D2 into D1. So what this it'll uh, D1 becomes is it'll also have something called D, which is 4, and it'll have something called E, which is 5, and it'll try to add A again because A is already present in this and key is unique. So what it does, it will update that value from 1 to 10, from 1 to 10. Right? Update function takes another dictionary as a parameter. Another dictionary as a parameter. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir. Clear,
Okay.
sir.
Let us look at this. Just get the Python console. So let me use the terminal for this. Maybe in the terminal, just go type Python. So that you will get the Python shell like this. You can just say d1 is equal to a colon 1, b colon 2, c colon 3. So this is my dictionary, right? D1 is has this D1 dot keys. If I call, what you get is a dict keys. Basically, it is a list of keys. Okay. D1 dot values returns a list of values. Nothing but the data type is basically dict values, right? For key in D1 dot keys, right? I'm directly at this returns a list. I'm directly iterating over. Okay, so I'm trying to print each key, right? A, B, C. Similarly, you can also write D1 dot values, which we can iterate over it, which we can iterate over it. It is not key, but actually value. So I did not change the variable name. Right? You can iterate over the keys and values. You can iterate over the keys and values. Okay. D1 dot items. D1 dot item. It is basically a dict items, which is nothing but a list of tuples where the first 0th index is the key, first index is the value. 0th index is the key, first index is the value for a tuple. Right? It is a list of tuple. Each tuple is an item, and each item has two values. And the 0th index is the key, first index is the value. Clear?
Clear,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
Right? For key val in d1 dot items, right? So if I print this, right? So you are getting each tuple, you are getting each tuple. A is key, 1 is value, B is key, 2 is value, C is key, and 2 is value, 3 is value. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. And update function. So D2 I'm going to create D4 A 10 E 5 F 6. Right. This is my D2. I have my D1. I have my D2. What I'm going to do is D1 dot update D1 dot update D2. Right. I want to update all the values, key values from D2 into D1. D1 is getting updated with all the key value pairs from the D2. Right now, let us see D2. Is it changed? It is still same. Now let us look at what is D1. Right now, initially A had 1. Now D2 had A key as a key and the value was 10. Now is the A key got updated with a value called 10?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
did
sir.
it also get all the keys, other keys and values from the dictionary D2, which is D4, E5 and F6?
Yes, sir.
Right, this is what update function does. If I say d1 dot update and I'll pass in one dictionary, it will add all the key value pairs from dictionary 2 into d1. If I do the other way around, d2 dot update d1, so it will add all the key values pairs from d1 into d2. If you see d2, this is the updated one. If I check for d1, this is the update. They both will have the same key and value pairs now. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we will see something called packing, unpacking in Python, which is packing, unpacking. It's a very simple concept. Right. Generally, one variable can take how many values? One variable,
Value.
one value. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
right. Another variable, one variable, one value.
No, no.
Right. So we are good. And if you want to assign more than one value, we have to go for containers. What are containers? Either a list or a tuple, a set, or a dictionary, a set or a dictionary. So which means if I have to add one more than one value, I'll have to go for containers. Right. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Generally one variable, one value. Now one variable, one container which contains multiple values, which contains multiple values. We know this, we have seen this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what happens if I have something like this? X is equal to 1, 2, 3. I'm assigning three variables to three values to one variable. Three values to one variable. We are assigning three variables, three values to one variable. Three values to one variable. Now what happens if I do this? Right. Now generally, what is the base rule? One variable, one value. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Now if we want to assign more than one value, what did we say? We go to the a case called container, either
Content.
list, tuple, set or dictionary, where I'll use those properties to add more than one value into that container. Perfect. Now what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to assign multiple variables into a single value, single variable, multiple values into a single variable. But this is against our rules, right? The rules that we basic rules that we discussed here. Now, what Python intelligently does is, if at all, if you are trying to assign more than one variable to more than one value to a single variable, right? It will convert this to a tuple. This will convert this to a tuple. Okay. Now, what happens if I just check for type of X and this will say class tuple, right? You want to assign more than one value to a single variable? Fine, assign, but I'll take it as a tuple. But I'll take it as a tuple. Right? This is called packing. This is called packing. Right? When we try to assign more than one value to a single variable, right? Then, right? This Python internally converts this to a tuple. This to a tuple. If I say print x, this will print it as 1, 1.0, true, none, ABC. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So this is basically, though I'm writing, though I am separating, though I am giving different values without putting them into a container, though I am giving different values without putting them into a container, Python is intelligent enough to pack all of them together into one container. So by default, Python uses tuple as a container. When we try to assign multiple values to a single variable, that will be converted to a tuple. That will be converted to a tuple. Okay, we'll see that. Right. Now just see here. X is equal to 1. No problem. We know what is X and type of X. It is basically an integer. Perfect. Right. Now X is equal to 1, 2. Now what is X? It is a tuple. It's a tuple. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tuple is basically immutable. So, and we know all of the properties of the tuple. But remember, Python, if I try to assign multiple variables, if I try to assign multiple variables into a single variable, multiple values into a single variable, Python converts this to a tuple internally because we need container to store more than one value. So that is a fundamental thing. That is a fundamental thing. So you need either list, tuple, set or a dictionary to store more than one value to a single variable. But here I'm trying to assign multiple values to a single variable, and then this is not possible. But Python internally handles this by converting all the values, by adding all of those values into a tuple and returns that and stores that in the tuple. Clear?
Clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Now let us look at another option. Let us look at another option, right? So we know A, comma B. I have two variables. Now I have two variables and two values. What happens here? 0 gets stored in A, first value, first variable, second value, second variable. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Generally, we said A is equal to, let us say 0, B is equal to 1. Now I want to do it in a single line. Then I will say A comma B is equal to 0 comma 1, where the first value goes to first variable, second value goes to a second variable.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is like, multiple variables, multiple values, multiple variables, multiple values. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear,
Okay.
sir.
Now let us say I have something called x is equal to 1 comma 2. Okay. A is equal to x. I will say A is equal to x. Oh, sorry. A comma B is equal to x. This has two values in it. And I have two variables and I'm giving my tuple here, x. Okay. Now what Python internally does is, okay, there are two variables and I'm a container, I'm a tuple, and I have been assigned to two variables. So obviously I'll have to split somehow and give the some certain value to this variables, right? So here what it does is it will put 1 into the first variable, 0 is 0th index into first variable, first index into the second variable. This is called unpacking. Packing means single variable, multiple values. Okay. Unpacking means multiple variables, right? Single container. This is, what is this? Packing,
Single variable, multiple values, sir.
right? This is packing now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
this is multiple variables, single container. Multiple variables, single container. Unpacking. Multiple variables, single container, unpacking. Okay. Now what is the problem here? What is the problem here? What if I give something like this? A comma B is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. How many variables do I have here?
Two
Two
variables.
variables.
Two variables.
Two variables,
Three values.
but three values. Now how does Python understand now? It can't do like, you take 1.5, you take 1.5, it can't do that, no? It can't do that. Then what does it do? Right? It says too many values to unpack. This is basically unpacking. It will throw value error. First thing, it will throw value error. Right? Too many values to unpack. If I say now the other way around, A comma B comma C is equal to 1 comma 2. Now what is the other problem? I have three variables, but I have two values. This is also value error. Value error. This is not enough values to unpack. Not enough values to Not enough values to unpack. You see the difference? Here, variables are less, values are more. That's why we are saying too many values to unpack. Too many values to unpack. Here, I have more variables but less values. Less values. Then not enough values to unpack. Not enough values to unpack. Right? It will also tell expected 4, got 3. Here expected 3, but got 2. Here expected 2, but got 3. Right. So here A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. If I say A is a tuple, right? Packing, no problem. Okay. If I say unpacking, A, B is equal to 1, 2. Now A will have 1, B will have 2. So first variable, first value. Second variable, second value. A, B is equal to 1. This is like, cannot unpack. Cannot unpack. Right? A, B, C is equal to 1, 2. Right? Not enough values to unpack. Not enough values to unpack. Expected 3, but got what? Got 2. Here I was expecting 3 variables and also 3 values. But expected 3 because I have 3 variables. I'm expecting 3 values, but got 2. Okay. Now A, B is equal to 1. Then cannot unpack. Okay, wait a second. A, B is equal to, I'll just give 1. Right? Not enough values to unpack. Not enough values to unpack. Expected 2 got 1. Expected 2 got 1. Right? So this is a very small concept which is called packing, unpacking. So this is what it is. So any questions or doubts here?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now going back to dictionary. So this was our dictionary, right? So we saw, if I want to know how many keys are there in this dictionary, what function do I use? If I want to know how many keys are there in this dictionary, what function do we use?
Count
Count?
half keys.
No. Which function do I use if I want to know how many keys are present in this dictionary? Len function. How many elements are there in a list? Len of x. That gives the length of the list,
Yes, sir.
right? Len of d1. This gives me the length of the dictionary. Same function for list, set, tuple, and dictionary. If you want to know the length of that container, either a list or a tuple or a string or a dictionary or a set, you have to use the function len. You have to use the function len. Clear? It basically counts the number of keys and returns the value.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Now tell me what is the difference between a len function, sorry, get function and using a square bracket? in dictionaries?
Both are used to access the value. By using square bracket, we can access that.
Okay.
By using key, we can access the values in square bracket. Like example, a square bracket name.
Okay. Now, what is the difference between now? What does the get function do? Like, I know that both are used to get the values based on the key, but what else can get do? Get can get function if the key is not present. What does it do?
It will throw none.
It will return a none. It doesn't
Yeah,
throw
it
an
will.
error.
Yeah,
It
yes.
returns none.
None.
Yeah.
But
None.
whereas if I'm using a square bracket and the key is not present, what does that do?
It will throw errors.
Right? What error?
Key error.
It will throw key
Key error.
error. Right? And again, what else can get function do? What else can a get function do?
Yeah, it will give none, sir. It will not throw any error.
It will add the key to dictionary.
Right, that is what we discussed, right? If the key is not there, it will return none. If the key is there, it will return the value. Apart from that, what other feature or what other thing can get function do? It can give the default value. If the key is not present, it will return none. If it also takes another parameter, first parameter is the key, second parameter is the default value, right? If the key is not present, it will return the default value that is there. It will return the default value that is given. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is anagram? What is anagram in general? What is anagram?
Don't know, sir.
Okay.
Or rearrange.
What was that?
If we give one word, it will rearrange the order.
Right. So, for example, if you take a word race and care, right? They both have same set of letters. RACE, CARE. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Given two strings, if both the characters are same, right? Characters in both the strings, they might not be in the same order, but if they are the both of the strings contain the same characters, then that is an anagram. Then that is anagram. Right? You understood?
So can you repeat, sir?
Let us say we have two strings. Okay, we have two strings. Okay, one moment. Just give me 1 second here. One moment. Then we'll see you on Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Monday evening.